and this is lunch break live stream. So we've got the, let's see if I can get this going here. We've got the replacement Hot Toys 1/6 scale DeLorean right here. It just came yesterday. I wanted to actually unbox this thing yesterday, but it was a long day at work. Couldn't get to it. Let's flip it around so you guys can see it here. Here we go. So I've got multiple cameras running. We're gonna do this Denobi style. So if you guys saw his video, he was very careful unboxing this thing. And I'm gonna just jump right in, guys. So I've literally got 1 hour to do this, probably less now. We're just gonna go ahead and start opening it up. So happy St. Patrick's Day. It is St. Patrick's Day today. I'm wearing green, as you can tell. Everything is ideal. We should not have any issues here. So, the packing tape. I remember when I unboxed my Mark I long time ago, I actually saved the packing tape. So what I did was I used a heat gun to take it off. For whatever reason back then, I thought that, you know, if I had saved the packing tape, that actually meant something. Now I just don't care. Also, they included a 10% off sticker on the box. So looks like I do get something out of this, right? Besides brand new, hopefully defect-free Mark II. All right, here we are. And as you can see, there it is. All right. So let's get this thing very carefully out of here. Again, you just gotta let gravity do its thing. And there we go. And just like Denobi did, I actually set up a little area here with some pillows so we can do the inspection on the wheels, because you got to flip it upside down to get a proper inspection going here. So I'm gonna back up the camera a little bit, and man, the anticipation is killing me right now. Make sure the camera's nice and straight there. Okay, here we go. I gotta admit, I do kind of like this idea with the straps. It is kind of a good idea. I think I mentioned that. Somebody at Hot Toys is actually thinking, but it's probably just one guy over there. So I've got my Mark I, as always, right there. So, thing about this, and I do want to comment. So Sideshow, you know, this is sealed by Hot Toys, so it's not like Sideshow can go in here and check to make sure it works, right? They just have a bunch of these that they send out, and that's that, right? So I'm not even going to waste my time with any of this stuff here. Everything all looks good. We're just going to open this thing up. It's on the Mark I. Let's out of the way. And let's take a look. Put you guys a little closer here. And there is my replacement, okay? We're gonna go ahead and take this out of this styrofoam here. And there we go. I am absolutely not going to roll the wheels. Ever, if I can avoid it, because we all know that, at least based on all the videos that are out there, that the rolling mechanism on this creates a lot of friction in there, because the wheels roll around on the, well, the tires roll around on the wheel. The wheels, it's just kind of weird. I'll have to show you guys on the inside hub. They roll around on the inside hub, wheel hub. And it's not like the Mark I where it's just kind of, you know, a typical rolling mechanism, right? It rolls around on the hub. And they had to do that so that they, it was just the design. It just made it easier for the hover conversion. rolled it. I rolled it. I want to do that. Rolled a little bit. So I've got my USB-C ready to go. That's the first thing I'm going to do is plug it in, make sure the LEDs are working this time. Not like last time where they were very dim. It was probably just some electrical issue creating some resistance in there. So here we are. And get in a little closer for you guys there so you can see what's actually going on. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this thing. Just make sure everything's fine, nothing else is broken on it, right? That's the first thing you want to do. So right now everything looks good. Dang, I should have brought my eyeglasses. All right, well, we can still do this. It's harder for me to see a little up close. Be very careful with this thing. So look very carefully for anything broken. Everything looks as it did when I unboxed the first one. All right, so like I said, the first thing I'm gonna do is plug it in. You kind of have to roll it a little bit. Got it plugged in, USB-C. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. So on number one. Okay, we've got LEDs working. I'd have to do a comparison with the Mark 1 later on. And number two, we've got LEDs in here as well. They look okay. I mean, they're still not bright, but it is what it is, right? On the camera, looks about the same. Looks about the same. They look about the same brightness. It depends on the angle that you're looking at them too, because if you look at this angle, it's hard to pick up on the camera, but you can actually see the SMD LEDs in there individually, right? Not so much on the larger wheels in the back. So the LEDs are working on the outside. Are they working on the inside? Let's take a look at this. So it looks like they're, yeah, the dash is on. Dash is on. Mr. Fusion, well, Mr. Fusion hasn't been unboxed yet. The flux capacitor is fluxing. SID, voltage regulator, plutonium gauges, time circuits, everything's lit. So I think we're okay there. Thrusters, vents in the back, those are lit. Tail lights are lit. All right, underneath, I'm gonna have to flip it over. So, just like Denobi did, I have a little area here with some pillows that we're going to place the time machine on. And it's gonna be right here. I'm gonna flip it upside down and be very careful doing this. Just don't want any issues develop. So the LEDs are working underneath. It still looks brighter here than it does over there. I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, I'm looking at it at the same angle. See that right there? And then right there. All LEDs are on. You've got the animated LEDs. Seem to be working fine as well. So, moment of truth here. Let me see if I can't show you guys the wheel mechanism sort of up close there. So you can kind of see that. Everything looks okay. Nothing broken on that one. Nothing broken on that one either. Let me just grab a light really quick here. Move the light from the other camera. Another camera rolling here, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I don't see any. I'm looking for that brass pin, and I don't see any brass pin on this side. No, I don't see one on this side. It's a little different. He had a wire going up and around the rear axle, which I thought was kind of weird. I don't have that on mine. Denobi is who I'm talking about when he did his replacement unboxing. I don't see that on mine. I don't see any stress cracks or any cracks there. Let me show you guys that. And over here, I don't see anything there as well. I'm looking at the two screws that are connected to what would be the control arm or the axle, whatever you want to call that. Nothing looks broken. So we're going to attempt to pull that out. So we're going to start here with the first. So the front of the car. Yeah, this is really crazy. So you do have to pull this out. Don't wiggle it, right? Just pull it out straight, right? Easier said than done, right? Okay, so check to make sure nothing's broken on the inside. Okay, there's the first click. There's supposed to be 2 clicks, right? So you can take it out again. There's another click, so that's it. I'm not gonna try to force it out anymore. You can take a look inside there. Don't see anything broken there. Looks like we're sort of okay there as well. On that side, looks okay. Alright, so we'll just keep doing this for each of the wheels. Take them out one at a time. We'll do that on this side as well. Don't wiggle them around, just pull them straight out. There's a wire in there, then it's okay. There you go. Second click. Do the same in the back over here. Click number 1. Far out, man. Click number 2. Click number 1. So notice that the wiring here is being pulled. So let's do that. There we go. And we can be very careful. So let's zoom in on that. Okay, no resistance, so it's moving freely. Still kind of hits the inner fender well there, so let's check that out. I don't want to force it. Does this come out as far as the other one? Oh, it hasn't. So it's sort of misleading in a way, the clicks, right? So maybe it's 2 clicks and then you bring it out a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, you need to bring it out a little bit more. I wouldn't do it from the wheel. I would do it from the this part right here. Pull that out. There's enough room in here to put your hand in and pull that out. Don't pull it by the wheel because there's a lot of the mechanism here. It could break. It's not super strong there, as we've seen, right, in other videos. So I pull it out from this side right here on the inside, and make sure that you're not pulling the wire. The wire, there's some tension on that wire. You can see it. So far the LEDs are good. Let's go back to the front here. And hopefully I have pulled it out enough. see what we got here. No, not yet, not yet. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit more. Again, from the inside. Don't, put all the force here on the wheel to pull it out all the way, because, it's not easy. If there's a lot of resistance, there's that last click. Let's go ahead and put the wheel in. We're good there. And do the same thing. So there's another click. So it's almost like 3 clicks. So nothing breaking. Looks like we're good. Okay. LEDs are still working fine. And yeah, so we're good here, I think. Now, make sure everything else is okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and unplug it for now. And flip it back around very carefully. And just go ahead and... So I don't know if that's a latching switch in there or a momentary switch. Seems like it's a momentary switch, but don't know for sure. And there's no detached seats or anything. That was another issue that somebody brought up, where the detached seats on the inside, they came unglued. So these look like they're okay. Yeah, so I think we probably are okay for now. I gotta attach the flux bands and all of that. Get Mr. Fusion on there, get the clock in there. So I got to do all that. I'm not going to film any of that. We've already done that, right? And the front, as I remember, was very difficult. And so I'm definitely not looking forward to doing that. But it looks like our LEDs and everything are working okay. You got to check the door mechanisms as well. Make sure that both doors open up as they're supposed to. So it looks like we're okay. I was very nervous about this. I know somebody messaged me or commented on a video saying that their fascias on their Mark II came in the same color as the Mark I, and I was like, oh no. I don't know if that's true or not, but I would doubt that. I would really doubt that. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think we're good. I don't think there's anything else I would need to look for here. We did look pretty closely at the wheel mechanisms here. We made sure that everything was not broken. And let's go ahead and take off here. So everything looks good. We're just going to go ahead and do a really close inspection in there to make sure everything is good. Everything looks good. So Denobi's had 2 broken mechanisms in there for the wheels. He calls them the struts, right? So his Mark II came in perfect condition. And he was pretty happy about that, so he immediately started taking it apart. So he replaced his LEDs. I don't plan on doing anything like that. Uh-oh. I don't like the look of that. There we go. I just want to be able to look at this. Here we go. So we want to make sure that none of that is broken there. So this looks okay. This looks okay. So I'm feeling pretty good, guys. Luck of the Irish. It is St. Patrick's Day. I think I picked the right day to unbox this thing. The DeLoreans are all built in Ireland. I'm part Irish myself. And it's St. Patrick's Day, so I think we lucked out here. I think we're fortunate. Let's see, what else? Make sure everything is on here. These hoses here can easily come off. One of mine came off on my first Mark II that I returned. I noticed it came off on Denobi's replacement Mark II, I think. I remember seeing that in one of his videos. Let's see, what else? Oh, I know what we can do. Let's go ahead and put it back into driving mode. and make sure that that's easy to accomplish as well here. So I'm going to attempt to put the camera back on the tripod without turning off the stream. There you go. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Well, probably should just do that while the car is upside down. I normally do that when the car is on the stand, but you know, I'm not gonna bother with the stand right now. Just go ahead and just do it while the car is upside down here. So we'll do that. So again, be very careful when you're doing this. So take a look in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about, that wire, the tension on that wire. You gotta be very careful because that could easily become disconnected. So that wire in there that you can see, there could be tension on that wire, and there was on one of these. So if there is tension, be very careful when you try to relieve that tension. You may disconnect it on the inside, and then you're screwed, because I don't know how you can open this up. I don't know how easy it is to open it up, right? I mean, you might have to, you know, do some destructive modifications in order to open it up. So we're gonna get this thing back in. Again, I'm pushing in on the inside here just to give a little bit of help and not have all the pressure on the wheel, okay? You don't want to do that because this wheel is, you know, it moves around, right? It moves around. So you want to take your other hand and help it, right? You can almost do it with the other hand. Just give a little nudge on the outside and then let it go in. Don't force it, right? If it looks okay, leave it alone. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we're good. So you can kind of see where you have to stop anyway, right there. So that's it. Let's go ahead and do that with the others. I'll show you the rolling, the way this thing rolls too. For those of you who have the Mark I, you know how that rolls. So be very careful. Kind of use both hands. I would use both hands. Support the strut underneath while you're turning this thing, so you don't accidentally move it in the wrong direction. You sort of guide it, right? Be very slow with that. There we go. And now again, well, let me show you the rolling mechanism and how that works. I'm not gonna roll it too much, but you guys can kind of see how that rolls. So the tire and looks like the outer lip here of the rim roll around this center hub, right? So none of this actually rotates in here. It's all the outside part of the tire and the lip of the wheel. Okay. So that's how that works. And you know, there's some friction here when you're rolling these wheels around. You know, it doesn't roll. This actually feels okay. I remember, well, this one has a little bit more friction than this one, so I'm just not gonna mess with it, right? So we're just gonna support the inside. There's that first click. And again, push a little bit on the inside here. I have the pillow underneath here so that, you know, if I'm pushing down on this, there's a little bit of give. If you're on a solid surface, that could mean the difference between breaking it and not breaking it. I don't know. Right? So again, two-hand operation here, guys. Bring it in as another click. That's that second click, and then you gotta, you know, I'm doing most of the force pushing this in is I'm pulling this in with this hand. Right, and trying to put as little pressure on the wheel as I can. You get to the point where you kind of have to stop. There you go. There you go. So that's how I'm going to do it. Okay. So we'll do the same thing here on the front. Okay. Be very careful. Again, support that strut in there with this hand. You know, I don't think you guys can see it on the camera, so I'll put the camera down a little bit here. There you go. This hand right here. The strut underneath. Hold that strut, support that strut as you're turning the wheel down, right? Don't let it pop back up again. And then again, take your other hand, support the strut in, and continue to bring the wheel down. You'll hear a click, okay? And then again, if you can, it's not easy, but try to, oh, that's a little hard. I don't want to force it. There we go. So again, I'm using this hand to support the strut on the inside, the axle, whatever you want to call it. So I'm slowly pushing this in, remembering to hear for those clicks. There's another click right there. Okay. And keep it going. Again, supporting the strut on the inside. Don't wiggle, don't turn. I'm probably not going to try to turn these wheels either. You can 20 degrees. It's probably not a good idea. Leave it like that. Do the same thing on this side over here. Just so you guys can actually see it. We're going to, again, support that strut underneath. Two-handed operation, guys. Two-handed operation. Don't do this with one hand. And mind that wire there's a little wire in there. Look at that wire. If that wire looks like it's going to be pulled, then be extra careful. So again, I feel like there's something sticky on the inside here too, like maybe some of the glue. This is a little harder, getting the leverage like this. So I'm going to bring it in like that instead. And hopefully you guys can see it a little better. Okay, so most of the force was with this hand on the control arm or the strut or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm kind of just nudging it a little bit with this, applying a little bit of pressure here on the outside and then slowly getting it in there. You can almost do it without touching the wheel, but of course you want to make sure that wheel isn't hitting the fender or something like that. Now I'm being overly cautious here, obviously, because we know that this can break, right? Denobi's broke right here. I think on both the front and the back. Okay, I think we can probably, there we go. There we go. Okay, I didn't hear a click on the other side, but I'm just gonna make sure that, okay. All right, so I think we're good. I can flip the car around now. Again, being very careful. And right there. And there she is. So let's go ahead and plug it back in. See if it survived all of that. Wheels are okay here. And go ahead and that way you guys can see what's going on there. And the brightness looks pretty much the same, I guess. Yeah, it's not super dim over here like it was on the first one I got. So we're okay there. Things good. Everything is still lit. Cool. All right, guys. I think we might be good. I didn't notice anything else wrong, but if you guys did, I see some of you guys commenting. Let me see if I can pull those up. And I can't. Hey, we'll review those comments or messages afterwards here, and I'll address those if you guys found anything that I didn't see. But flux capacitor is fluxing. Everything looks sort of bright here. I'll have to do a comparison with my Mark 1 later on to make sure that it's at the same level. It doesn't look bad though. Yeah, the flux capacitor looks bright enough in there. Everything else seems to look okay. So doesn't look like there's any major issues here. So I think we're gonna conclude the live stream, and I thank you guys for watching. And once again, thanks for all the support and following this video series. It obviously ended up being a lot more videos than I had intended, and it just kind of worked out that way, you know. There are issues with this thing, and I wanted to point out those issues for those of you who were maybe on the fence or were planning on getting this, maybe didn't have the Mark 1. So hopefully these videos helped you guys out. I do have one more video coming out that I filmed on the previous one that's coming out. I think it's going to be ready by Sunday. It's just a YouTube short, but I thought it was kind of cool. It's got a little bit of John DeLorean in it. So it's the Mark II Hot Toys with some John DeLorean. It was kind of fun making it. You'll see when you watch it, if you watch it. So that'll be coming out on Sunday. And I don't know if I'll do another video on this one here, on the replacement. I might just do a short or something like that. I think we're kind of done with this, right? I think we can kind of put this thing to rest. I didn't check the batteries. I will do that. That, since is not a known issue, I'm not really too concerned about that. That's actually, the hood actually opens up a little easier and closes a little better than I remember on the first one I got. So I think we're good, guys. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the next video.